So where we are then for the reverse race, Catalunya. I say reverse because it's a reverse grid, so because I won the last race I'm on the back now. Electric Steel, who finished last, takes a start. It gets a bit of a bog down to start. Steve Stones, Shearer, Sheepy Gamer all get away really well. Dark Smoker flies through the pack and he's pretty much up now. Well, he's in 5th at the minute, but he's in 4th now. Coming down the first corner, I sort of sweep wide. Vialli blocks my path. He then brakes for the corner and I lose it completely. So we're going to review that because it is an important moment in the race for me. So we shall go on board with me and you shall see my point of view. So if we go back to my start, I get away really well. So I sort of beat Haz off the line. I see there's a lot of cars going ahead that are running slower, so Wilkie got a slow start, so did Jeff in the Sirocco. There's nowhere to go on the left, so I go right. Vialli then does the same thing but then brakes, and as you can see, and I aim for a gap in traffic to avoid taking anyone out. And that's my race done, pretty much. I'm now ridiculously pissed off, and obviously not in a great mood. So we'll go back to the start and we'll just sort of see where we're going. So Dark Smoke, who started mid-pack, is up into 2nd already. He then takes CB Gamer at turn 3 and assumes a lead before the first sector's even over, so he's on a fantastic start. CB Gamer's managed to hold on to a lot of places. Him and Shearer battling once again. Electric Steel's not doing too bad in 4th. He has dropped a couple of places, but he won't be too mad at where he is. B-Rated and Mutt are making their way back through the pack also. And what else is going on? Steve Stone's in his Budmobile. Doing quite well. Turner's made a few places up. Turner didn't show up to the first race, so he by default started at the back. Wilkie 10th. Vialli in 11th. Haz 91 still down in 12th. JDM Jeff in 13th, and I'm backing up the pack. So my job now is, well, I'm pissed. I'm really annoyed. So you can see my driving at this stage is shocking. So yeah, my job is just to finish as high as I can now. A win is out the question completely. As Wilkie goes for a move on Turner, lovely little move up the inside there, but is he going to get the move completed? He's on the inside for the next one, so he should be okay. A little bit of contact, but that's all right. Checking up on the pack, B-Rated struggling to get through. CB Gamers taking out the track. Sayrex is currently trying to put Mutt under pressure. Mutt, who's really putting Shearer under pressure, and this little battle is just letting Dark Smoker get away a little bit now. So Dark Smoker is now leading after the first lap. Really good first lap from him. Mutt's got his way past Shearer and he will be hoping he can catch up to Dark Smoker. Let's see if he can catch him very shortly. Be right at the fair, so I'm just trying to see what's going on. The battle for 7th is getting quite tight now with Turner and Vialli engaged in that one. And then you've got me approaching the back of Haz 91 in the background. Vialli's trying to go around the outside of these guys. It's not working so far. This is a track I actually really enjoy, and I was a bit annoyed that happened at the first lap. And I won't lie, I was just in a really bad mood. I'm not going to comment on the incident itself because I'm not a steward and it would be unfair to. But I was really annoyed, knowing now that a win was out the way. But that's racing, shit happens. So we have to go again as Wilkie just gets himself off and just manages to avoid collecting me. Just got his car out of the way in time really as I go around the outside of Haz 91, who just seems to be struggling at the minute. Don't know what was up with him today. Haz, who you'll see in a second, just completely forgets to brake and just fires himself into central Barcelona. I don't think he was just enjoying the track at all. So I'm now in 8th, battling my way up to Vialli. Ahead of Vialli's Steve Stones. B-Rated's now caught up with Sayrexic, and these two are going to be involved in a battle very shortly, I'd imagine. Shearer is dropping away from Mutt and Dark Smoker now, so he's going to start coming under pressure from the guys in 4th and 5th. Mutt's job now is lap fast and catch Dark Smoker, who, you know, he doesn't want to lose too quickly. He's probably just outside the slipstream range for now, but he should catch up with that soon, so we'll see how that develops a little later on in the race. Meanwhile, B-rated trying to go around the inside of SHAREfactory. Doesn't manage to get the job done here, but he's got the right line for turn 4, so he should be able to get the move done on braking, unless SHAREfactory can hang it around the outside, which he can. So B-rated just takes the racing line for the next corner, but decides it's too far back to throw a move down the inside. So just backs off and waits for his next opportunity. Further down the pack, I'm catching Viali, slowly but surely. Turner's dropped away a little bit. Jeff is on his back tail. Wilkie, who had a good time out last time, will be hopefully can do better. Has 91, who had that off last lap, has caught back up with the field. CB Gamer and Electric Steel bringing up the rear. Meanwhile, Dark Smoker and Mutt getting really close now, so we'd expect this battle to sort of evolve very shortly. You can catch Dark Smoker's live POV, including all his swear words, on his channel. There'll be a link in the description below. I recommend you check it out and sort of give him a sub anyway. It'll make him smile, and by the sounds of his races, he's doing an awful lot of that. So give him a subscribe. Check out his POV videos. He also does a bit of commentary as well. For a lot of other people, as he currently sets the fastest lap of the race so far with 1:48.6. I can't remember what I was lapping in with this, to be honest. I'll go back and check in a minute. But Mutt is now getting his slipstream, Keeley, so he's within slipstream range, so he'll be looking to gather that slipstream for lap 5 and see if he can make any moves. Shearer's still managing to keep B-rated at bay. That one's not really developed too much. I'd expect the Porsche to be better around here than the Mustang, so that one will probably change hands shortly. B-rate does have a look, but doesn't go for it. Meanwhile, I take Steve Stones. I'm still trying to catch up to Viali. Viali, obviously the guy that I had that sort of incident with on the first turn. So he's sort of my marker for where I probably should be at this time. I'm not expecting to win this race at all. I think I remember saying to the boys in chat that I'd be happy with sort of finishing 6th or above, given the incident I had. Still picking up some decent points, so I should still keep my lead in the championship if I do that. So we'll see how I get on. Meanwhile, B-rated does go for that move on Shearer, gets it done at the hairpin. Probably the best opportunity for an overtake down here, to be honest. Turn 1 is possible, but yeah, you've got to be brave a little bit, to be fair. Mutt and Dark Smoke are both carrying little penalties, and they'll be for minor track cuts. It's not as easy to get track cut penalties here as it was in Red Bull, but you still pick them up. Like, yeah, there's certain bits of the corner. I can't remember, I think it's like turn 10. It's a left-right sort of chicane, then you go uphill, and if your line's not right, you're going to get a penalty. So Dark Smoke has actually dropped Mutt off a little bit now, so Mutt's fallen back. Shearer's now coming under some serious pressure from the guys behind. Obviously B-rated got past, and SHAREfactory will be looking to make a similar move. Shearer thinks better of a return move and just sticks in the slipstream, probably a wise move for the time being. Viali's keeping me at bay for now. We'll see if that one improves. Steve Stones and Turner coming through turn 1. Steve sends a cone to Oblivion and gets a 1.5 second penalty for cone abuse. Turner, another BMW user, as we see, has 91 make his way past Jeff. A nice little move that, but Haz is obviously struggling with the track. I don't know how much practice he got, but we know he's a quick guy, so it'll be, he's a couple of seconds off the pace, so you know, it'll be purely practice. Wilkie in 10th, CB Gamer in 13th, and then Electric Steel bringing up the rear again. So we've missed a moment here, so I'm going to go back and just check this out. So Mutt, the surprise is not spoiled, because obviously, you know, he does manage to get past here. So Dark Smoker just runs himself a little bit wide, gets it out of shape, just clips that, and Mutt goes through into the lead of the race. I can imagine that's the part in Dark Smoker's stream where he swore a lot, so if you're wanting some vulgarity, that's probably where you should head. Shearer meanwhile's got past B-rated again. Have we missed something here? What's going on? Let's have a look. So Shearer's in 4th. B-rated just, he just catches him napping. Yeah, he takes a really wide line. Shearer manages to get a really good overtake completed coming into turn 5. That's a brilliant overtake, to be fair. B-rated then just not in a position to defend that going in the uphill chicane. It's not really an overtaking spot here, to be honest. And you can bet your bottom dollar that he'll be going for it back at the hairpin. Tries to get a tighter line to get his exit speed up. Probably would have done well, B-rated, to stick in that Mustang slipstream. It's not the best car in this league, but it's certainly bloody quick. Shearer's and B-rated both late on the brakes. This is a really good battle to be watching right now, so let's just go on board with the Pie Man. Just see how he's getting on. So moves can be made in this little section here, but yeah, you have to be really close to make it happen. I have a little bit of a door banging episode with someone in a little while, I think, at some point around here. B-rated's obviously in the slipstream now, but he's eyeing up that podium position. We'll see if he can make a move. Meanwhile, Vial is catching SHAREfactory in the background. Will he go for a move? Looks like B-rated pulls out to make a move. Vial doesn't. B-rated's not going to get the move done here by those things. Shearer does manage to outbrake him. But B-rated just tucks himself into the racing line for the long sweeping right-hander. So we're 6 laps in, with 9 minutes into this video. I'm not cut away yet. So that just shows you the action that's been going on. Meanwhile, I've run ridiculously wide and get a penalty. Shock me getting penalties. B-rated has managed to keep that position for now, but we'll see how that battle heats up. SHAREfactory was getting pressure from Viali, seems to have dropped back a little bit, and I'm trying to put them all under pressure, but I've got a weapons grade penalty for something. I can't actually remember what I got that for. But 2.4 seconds, anyone would think I shot a dog. Turner's still up in an 8th with Steve in 9th. Steve's now got Has 91 for company, with Jeff not far behind and Wilkie not far behind there either. Do like this camera angle. CB Gaming and Electric Steel bringing up the rear. They're still quite close together, so we could still see something here. So back to the front. Mutt has managed to pull a bit of a gap on Dark Smoker now, so this is probably about 8 temps, 9 temps. So not within the prime suck zone. So Dark Smoker won't be getting the benefit of a suck down the main straight, which will be disappointing. But they're both in equal cars, so it's purely exit speed at the final corner that will determine whether they make any ground on each other or not. B-rated's pulled a little bit of a gap on Shearer. SHAREfactory is going to start coming under pressure from me shortly, although I know how this move ends, so we might just skip that one, who knows. And Shearer defends that really well to SHAREfactory. Shearer's pretty hanging on well in this race, to be honest, considering he did. I mean, he started near the front of this one, but that means that he had a bit of a shocker at Red Bull Ring, and I remember me down near the back. So he's hanging on well in Catalonia. We're nearly halfway into the race, and he's still within touching distance of a podium. So we'll skip the race forward a couple of laps and just see how things get going. We'll catch up with the action when we return. So back with the action, lap 11. Battle for 4th. SHAREfactory leading Shearer from Viali, and it's about to get a little bit close. So slipstream battle coming down into the hairpin. Really tight left-hander. Everyone gets through there cleanly, no issues. Everyone clips the apex just as they should. As the guys sort of lead into the chicane, Shearer just gets a touch on the grass. It's going to slow him down a little bit, and then he just runs it a little bit wide. Leaves the door open for Viali, who says thank you very much. I'll go straight through that gap if you don't mind. And that's Viali up into 5th. Shearer then in desperation sort of to keeping it loses traction, and that's going to lose him a ton of time coming onto the main straight. So you're just going to see the guys ahead just bugger off, basically. Meanwhile, while we've been gone, I made another mistake, landing myself near the back of the grid, and I've been fighting my way back again. So I'm outside of where I wanted to finish. I've got 9 minutes to recover my race. Doesn't seem good for me. At this point, I was seriously considering if having an alcohol problem was really such a bad idea. Meanwhile, Viali up ahead is putting SHAREfactory under pressure. B-Rate has managed to pull away from that battle and is now catching Dark Smoker, so he's not within slipstream range yet, but he's got sort of 8 minutes to consider a move on Dark Smoker. And Mutt 36 has started building up a decent gap to these guys, so Mutt's having a really good race today. Dark Smoker will want to hold on to this second position. B-Rated will want that second position. SHAREfactory and Viali are fighting it out for the honour to have a go at B-Rated in the last couple of laps. And Shearer's just trying to hang on to the tails of these guys. Meanwhile, I'm not a million miles away from that, so I can see the cars, I can taste their petrol, and in a manner of speaking now I'm going as bloody fast as I can to catch up, essentially, because I want to get involved in that battle, because I can basically see that 5th place is on, 4th if I really push it. Viali and SHAREfactory going at it. Viali probably made the move a little bit too early there for me. Has to tuck back into the slipstream. Would have got a better sort of catapult effect had he have started that move a little bit further back. But to be fair, it looked like he had the move. It looked like the move was sort of on. So SHAREfactory is still winning out with that one. Shearer has dropped back a little bit. I'm obviously catching up to that now, so I'm not far away from it all. Turner is in 8th with JDM Jeff in 9th, who's making up his own track as Wilkie gets his way through. Has that one down in 11th from a bit of a miserable day out, to be fair. CB and Electric Steel behind. Meanwhile, Mutt, Dark Smoker, quite well separated. Dark Smoker's sort of keeping B-Rated at bay for the time being, but we do still have over 5 minutes to go, so another couple of laps easily, so there's time for him to redeem himself. Meanwhile, it's getting really tasty behind. Shearer makes a lovely move on SHAREfactory down the inside of that corner. That's just going to give SHAREfactory the opportunity to come back at him. Shearer does go defensive, pushes him as far wide as he dare, and Shearer's going to keep his spot. He does not have to go as far. This battle is great for me. I'm behind watching this thinking one of these guys is going to end up knocking each other off, and it looks like they have. So SHAREfactory's gone wide. Shearer's still in that position. These guys battling is just what I want to see, because as you can see now, I'm closing in on these guys. I can smell blood. So Shearer now will see me filling his mirrors. He's probably getting a little bit of slipstream from SHAREfactory, but not a lot. I'm getting all the slipstream from him. And as you see the effect that slipstream has, as into the first corner I go, just a tad late on the brakes and get the move done. Sort of cut off the apex from Shearer then as soon as I'm in front, just so he can't cut me back. And then just try and power around turn 3 in order to pull enough of a gap so he can't lunge on up the inside. But I didn't think I got that done at this minute in time, so just moved to cover it, but noticed he wasn't going for it anyway. My job's now to catch this man, SHAREfactory, and it's allowing Viali to get away, this is. SHAREfactory does just run himself wide a little bit, and that's going to let me basically have the place for free. So up into 5th I go. Shearer also gets through. SHAREfactory does fight that one, but Shearer keeps his move on. One of the overtakers of the league is our league, Daniel Ricciardo, is Shearer 20. The The American Aussie Daniel Ricciardo. That's what I'm going to call him from now on. Meanwhile up ahead, B-Rated is really reeling into that smoker now, so that gap is easily less than a second. Viali's probably a bit too far back to take advantage of that, but fourth is his, providing he keeps it on the track. We've only got a few minutes to go. I am chasing Viali down, so I can probably see another 2-3 laps in this race. Can I get him? Is basically what I'm thinking to myself now, because fourth would be a fantastic result considering the race I've had. But at this stage, you know what, I'm just thinking I'm actually happy with fifth. I'm not going to push myself off the track in order to catch someone. And it's not like Viala's exactly slow, is it? So I would have to be on my A game to catch him and overtake with this long left. Shearer and SHAREfactory still going at it. SHAREfactory is going to go for the move on the inside. Shearer gives him plenty of room, but SHAREfactory doesn't end up going for it and does just run himself off track a little bit. Turner up into 8th. Not too bad race from Turner. He's raced quite cleanly and well respectful. Absolutely no issues with any of his racing so far. Wilkie not having a great day in 9th at the minute. We know he can do better than that. Jeff and his freshly painted red Bullmobile it has to be said. See what I did there? Anyway, has to be said, has had better days. Anyway, we'll come back to this in a couple of minutes. In fact, we'll do a bit of a lap. We'll do a lap. Okay, back in a second. So let's have a ride on board. Let's go for Barcelona. Very popular track, a lot of MotoGP and Formula 1 happens here. So your braking zone, you're looking for sort of like a light board on the left. You see it there, that's roughly where you brake. I'm braking a little bit earlier than that just to guarantee I can hit the apex. Run mostly full throttle in second gear for these corners, and you're turning for this, you sort of want a mid-apex. The car will then naturally drift out, as you can see. Usually just a little blip. I didn't get that one right that time, that's usually a lot cleaner. Braking just before the bridge, down into second gear. Partial throttle. As soon as you sort of see that fence, plant it. And then braking here, just try braking is massively important, because otherwise the car seemingly just doesn't want to rotate. Probably the most difficult corner on the track for me coming up, so you brake where the curb is. And then you want to put 2 wheels on the green stuff, and then another 2 wheels on the curb on the right. A little bit of a lift here is normally enough, a bit of a downshift just to help the rotation, and away you go. And then you look for a light board on the right for your braking point. Down into first, you'll notice I do that, and if these cars had real gearboxes I would be blowing mine apart. But it's simple, so I can do it. Just enhances the engine braking power, essentially. And then run it as slow as you can through there. Don't clip the sausage curve coming through here, you will go sideways. And not a little split of acceleration, quick left, right. And then try and aim your car so you can go full throttle here and guarantee your exit speed. So as you can see, that's a lap of Barcelona. And let's see how the last little bit of the race pans out. So we'll just come out of my car for a minute while I flick through the field. So our leader, Mutt, has run away with it. Dark Smokers not really being pressured by B-Rated, so his second is good for now. B-Rated, similarly, not really coming under any pressure from behind, so he can just focus on the job in hand, really. Viali doesn't have to worry about me that much. It's the final lap. I'm too far back to really make a move, so I'm not gonna, and I know that, so I'm not really pushing too hard now. So the battle for 6 is still very much on. So Shearer, Turner and SHAREfactory involved in this one. Turner's just got a bit of a lag going on, so his car's just flying all over the place. Wilkie has officially finished the race first, although in 9th position. We'll go work that one out. Has 91 comes home in 10th with JDM, CB Gamer and Electric Steel behind. We'll just go on board with everyone as across the line now for the the close of race number 4 in the GTTCC. So the next race is actually happening tomorrow, so when this video goes up, it will hopefully be Thursday night, and then we're back for more racing. So Mutt comes home to win his first race. Fantastic result for him. Dark Smoker, another brilliant result for him. That start made his race. Good podium finish, and B rated a well-earned third. Viali is going to, looks like, come home in 4th. He's got a little bit of a penalty to serve, but then again I think so do I. No, I've served mine. So me and Viali in 4th and 5th. Shira 20, who's had a really good race, got involved in a lot of battles, has defended that 6th position with Turner in 7th and SHAREfactory in 8th. So just chat summary now that the second week's race reviews are done. So for me, a win and a 5th position, not the worst outing, but after the first 2 races where I won both of them, I was sort of hoping that streak could continue. Selfish of me, I know. Hopefully that's my bad luck race out of the way. You always have one in a league, I'm pretty adamant of that. But the next 2 tracks we've got Brands Hatch for qualifying, which is a track I usually really enjoy. Took the Porsche for a few laps around there yesterday, and it was alright. No issues with it, to be fair. It seems to handle quite well. Then we've got Yamigiwa and Miyabi 2, so that's the reverse of it, and that'll be the reverse grid race. So that promises to be pretty chaotic, to be honest. But the good thing is there's tons of places to overtake on it. There's just a mix of slow chicanes, slow hairpins, high speed corners, S's. It's a very technical track, one of the most technical on the game, short of the Nordschleife or something daft like that. So if I can keep my cool around there, my time's on there though, because it's not a track I've not driven it until yesterday when I did a few laps, and I've done a few tonight. I'm getting sort of mid 122s at best, and I know a lot of the guys are getting sort of low 122s, or some are getting into the 21s. I know Vial is really good around there, so I'll have to just hope that I pull it together in the race, basically. But either way, I'm not necessarily expecting to win, but I'll go into them both with a bit of a positive mental attitude, and hopefully we can get a good result. So I'm going to talk about Kika at the end of every single video I do, because it's fast approaching now. The date is coming up. So on the 3rd of August, which is 3 weeks on Saturday, is the charity event. And to be fair, there's been talk today of a few of us actually going over to Holland, because I've got a VIP box at Zandvoort, and I think a few of us are on about doing our races there. So I don't know, I'm not sure what's going to happen yet. Whether we'll do it, it sort of depends on whether I can take my rig over there and all that, because the good thing is my rig's collapsible, so I can literally just pack my rig up and take it. So that's doable, to be honest. I can probably physically do that. Pot at Potts on about driving in the van, him and Dark Smoker spooning in the back of it, and I'll just tent up somewhere because I don't fancy being sandwiched between them two. But yeah, we might do that. I'll see if I can sort it. I might not be able to, given childcare. We're going to do a trial run of the Kika event soon, which will probably be a bit of a behind closed door sort of event, just to check that the servers can handle what we're planning to do with them. Obviously, as you know by now, if you don't, then Kika is a Dutch children's charity that very much focuses on eliminating cancer in children, and funding the research and the care of not just children but the families as well, and all that sort of stuff. So it's a worthy charity for it. A lot of groups have got involved, so obviously we at the MRC are heavily involved in it, but NGR, Next Gen Racing, are as well. 2 Dutch sim racing groups are going to be joining. It's going to be on multiple platforms. There's going to be a GT Sport race, there's going to be a Project Cars 2 race, there's going to be all sorts going on. So and it promises to be a good event for us racing and for the spectators as well. But with the key thing in mind that we're all doing this, we're all going to give up a ton of our time on a weekend to raise money for a worthy charity. So if you're interested in joining, chuck a bit of A bit of attention to the links that I'll be posting in the description. Also, check out the Kika links as well. There's a link to their Just Giving page. There's a link to their own website. The website link that I'm posting does have a sort of a direct link in it that links whatever you do on that website to our event, so they can gauge the traffic and the donations and stuff as being involved in this. So the sim racing for Kika thing is what we're doing, and obviously we want to get that really rocking, because then we can start amping up the sort of sponsorships and stuff for next time if we really want to do that. So that's pretty much it for now from me. I could ramble absolute shit all night if I really wanted to, but I've got to go and have a shower and get to bed because I've got to be up early in the morning. So that's it. Tomorrow will be the actual races for week 3, so races 5 and 6. So Brands Hatch and Yamagua McGeary reverse. Please chuck a like and a subscribe over to Dark Smoker's channel. He will be streaming his POV live tomorrow. I won't be streaming. I host these events, so it just sends the servers a bit haywire if you're trying to host and stream at the same time. So Dark Smoker does that. So if you want to catch things live as they happen, go and watch what he does. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of swearing as well. And yeah, that's about it from me. So I will catch you guys in the next race reviews. Hope you all have a wicked weekend. Much love, peace out.